market is not euphoric right now. I'm in Anthon Marine Park, one of the islands here in Thailand, on the beach, enjoying a mocha. So this little crash we're getting isn't really bothering me. Because who cares? Gotta live life, right? Don't invest what you're not willing to lose. Start by saying that. Anything can happen, we could crash to zero, right? But if you're stressing about everything, you probably have too much invested, you know? So I wanted to make this little talk today before I head back to Koh Samui. Let's talk about where we're at. We had the ETFs launch on Thursday, and then yesterday, Friday, we saw quite the move down in Bitcoin, about 15%. Altcoins held up kind of better. Ethereum still started pumping a little bit, started to set a new high even, while Bitcoin was dumping. XRP still following a crashing fractal that I pulled from back in August when we had that big liquidation event. It's just on a smaller time frame. It looked like it might have deviated because it went so high with the Bitcoin pump hitting 49K, you know, the morning the ETF launched. But it pulled right back down right on cue with the fractal. So the fractal would suggest we, you know, wander around here for a few days and then we get moving our way back up. But I mainly wanted to talk about, you know, was the ETF really a sell the news event marking like a local or a macro top? I watched Blockchain Backer, and he has been hollering this since the bottom, that he thinks Bitcoin's going in for a retrace to around this level, like 48 to 51K, you know, the 618 to the 702 retrace. And that's it. Market's just going to retrace. No new all-time highs because the stock market's going to top out, and it looks like it's ready for an insane crash. So he's had this thesis from the beginning. He scaled out all of his Bitcoin. And he recently did a poll on Twitter asking what people think comes next, 70K or 30K. And the majority of the poll said 30K. So the thing is like, he says that with the ETFs, it was a max euphoria event. And the market is like super, super euphoric. Everyone's piling in. And I gotta be honest, I just don't see that. If you look at a lot of the indicators on the charts, they're nowhere near where they're normally at after a bull run. If you look at the Google trends, we're just starting to tick up in Google searches. And then when you just think about the sentiment, even when the ETF launched and we were at 49K, the sentiment is still nowhere near the places it's been when we've hit true tops. I haven't heard like insane retail FOMO, like random people just degenning, YOLOing a ton of money into crypto like they did back at 69K or the top in the low 60Ks before that, where Elon Musk announced that Tesla was like buying Bitcoin. The euphoria there was insane. It was all in the media. You had a bunch of random Joe Schmoes opening accounts and buying Bitcoin and Doge and Shiba and like every coin under the moon. We don't have that right now. Altcoins, some have had great runs, but like most altcoins are still nowhere near their all-time highs. They're still barely breaking out of accumulation ranges. And so Blockchain Backer is suggesting that, yeah, over the next couple weeks or months, it would be Bitcoin distribution. We kind of like teeter around here. The altcoins would start moving like crazy, and that would be the indicator that we probably topped, and that's it for Bitcoin. And then once the alts move, that's it for the whole market. I just don't see it, man. Look, anything's possible, and I think it would be a great narrative. You know, they launched the ETF right at the top, and they start distributing and selling all the Bitcoin that these institutions have probably accumulated since down at 15K onto retail, because retail is able to enter now. but I don't know. I'm very much more in line with the ideas of Credible Crypto and Camel Finance, because their idea is that it's still going to catch the market off guard and wrong foot people and trap people and cause the most harm to investors. It's that we go up in a parabolic run right now for the next few months, the beginning of this year. We make a new all-time high and top a macro top before the halving that lasts for, maybe a couple years to come, as opposed to just a 1 year bear market. We get a prolonged bear market after this parabolic run up. And that seems like it makes more sense to me. Again, I don't know, dude. I'm just some guy on the internet, just like anyone else, absorbing the information, looking at the charts, trying to get as many perspectives as I can get. And like I keep saying, anything can happen, right? So ultimately, we don't know where we're headed. But this whole video, it's just basically, I just wanted to get the idea out. Like, I understand blockchain backers' perspective, right? And I think it's totally possible and viable. What I don't agree with is that he's been calling the market like euphoric right now and in max euphoria. We hit extreme greed for like 1 day on the fear and greed index, barely, and then we came right back down to just greed. Normally tops are marked by going to extreme greed and sitting there for weeks or months. So I don't see this euphoria that he's talking about, and I think we have a lot of room to run higher. Bitcoin pulled back, it still is maintaining higher lows. We had like a 15% dump, which is, I think, the biggest dump we've seen since we started really moving up. And I think it's flushed a lot of people out. I think the way that it was set up with this ETF to get a pump right away in the morning when it launched, and then a big dump before the weekend to scare everyone, just sets up the market to go a lot higher. All leverage positions are wrecked at this point. From the pump up, the shorts got wrecked, and now we dumped, and there's probably like no longs left in the market, hardly. So in my opinion, everything looks good. Everything looks all systems go. XRP looks like it's on the brink of that massive breakout and that massive move. So we'll see what happens. Should be an exciting week. Pop in the charts here soon. But hope you enjoyed the update. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Get out to Thailand, enjoy the beach. Live life, man. Don't stress. See y'all later.